doesn't fracture. Hey, doesn't matter.
It don't matter what they say, we gon' talk anyway. Bell rings, mic check, let the real ones play. From the legends to the new blood climbing the ladder. Welcome to the show, it doesn't matter. Notorious Dome set the tone, main event status. BDC bring a fire, every take savage. Strap facts with the knowledge, history splatter. Poppy planting a wild card, say it loud, it doesn't matter. No filter, no bias. This is the It Doesn't Matter podcast.
Tonight, we are taking it back to 1994, WCW Spring Stampede in the Rosemont Horizon in Illinois. Before we get into this show, we have Aaron Neville, not Adrian, Aaron Neville singing the national anthem. So we have somebody singing the national anthem. You know the show is going to be real big. So it's a big show for WCW, and I can't wait to get into it. I remember watching this as a kid on VHS that somebody dubbed for me. It brought back all the memories. What's going on, guys? I'm Notorious on I Am Dom. I'm here with BDC, and I'm here with Poppy Platano. Fellas, what's going on?
What's good?
What's good?
What up?
All right, Platano, you chose Spring Stampede 1994. What's up with that?
I wanted to take a look at Stunning Steve Austin versus the Great Muta at this time. Muta, and I know John says a lot, he's the Japanese version of Sting, so I wanted to see what the hype was. And tonight I got to see a chance of what Stunning Steve and the Great Muta would be. And of course, you know, you got Flair and Steamboat. Those two guys, I don't think they can ever have a bad match. It's like them guys just yin and yang. They know what to do with each other. They might be total opposites, but at the same time, they complete each other. Steamboat will always be Flair's favorite from what he said, and that's why he's always called Mercedes Charlotte's Steamboat.
All right, so this is your first time seeing the show?
Yep.
Ooh, okay, so you were in for something pretty special. All right, BDC, this is your first time seeing the show?
No, I did see it when it initially, not when it initially came out, but like at the height of the Monday Night Wars. I was able to kind of go back because at that point I was working and I could actually get a check, so I could actually go pick it up in Blockbuster. You know, good times. Good times.
You gotta remember, bro, I wasn't really like a big WCW fan until around a month or two after the NWO was initially starting. I know they had that little run in the beginning. It was kind of like mediocre at the time, but then it just went all the way up. So, not to say I didn't see Saturday night or what is it, the 605 every now and then, because
Saturday night.
I caught it like
WCW Saturday night.
6:05 Eastern time.
The only reason I caught that, one day I just watched TV and I'm like, hey, is that Macho Man? Oh, Dusty? All right, maybe I'll sit there and watch. Better than my damn fucking plane ride back home.
Oh, man. All right. Well, this is your pick. If the show is hot, then you get all the credit. If it's mid, well, we won't.
You don't get all
talk about this again.
If it's whack, you get blown up like I did in the last shot pick.
As long as we blow up like Darby Allin is right now, I don't care. Darby Allin, congratulations. Man. I know this isn't the topic of discussion right now, but congratulations, Darby Allin. I know there's a lot of pomp and circumstances about that. He's too small. He's too this, too that. Are you talking about him?
The 4 coffin drops. God damn.
The crazy thing is, I was watching. I'm like, okay, Darby's going for the title. It's like 9:30. I'm like, maybe they're gonna get like a good half-hour match. I'm like, wait a minute. Willow got a match against my girl. She just came back. Can't think of her name. Camille. Yeah, had a match with that. I fell asleep. I'm like, damn. I'm like, wait a minute. Are they going long tonight? Are they gonna have a long match? And I woke up this morning, and I seen, shit, I mean, MJF got squashed.
Yeah.
It was like, what, 4-minute match?
I'm shocked. I wanted to watch it too, and I fell asleep, man.
I'm
The
like,
problems of having a
damn.
young kid, man. You don't get to call it when you get to go to sleep. It just go to sleep. But yeah, what a surprise. Smart move in my opinion. I know it's WrestleMania season, but little reason to, take a little bit and put it on this little show right here.
Yeah, it gave them.
Yeah, good.
It gave AEW on a big WWE weekend. It gave AEW the headlines for at least a couple of days during the week.
And especially since WWE is constantly, counter programming. Hey, do something that's just gonna catch everybody off guard. Because I didn't think MJF was gonna lose the title on a Dynamite, but
Well,
he's
listen,
gonna lose it.
it caught
Right
it
guy.
caught so much. It caught so much attention. You had Jey Uso out there attacking Cameron on the set of his show. So,
I don't know. It's crazy because I received a text the day of Darby gonna win the title. It was like mid-afternoon, like, yo, Darby's winning the title tonight. That's all I seen on Facebook.
Who said that?
Mad people. And then I go on one of the Facebook pages on the podcast page. They're saying, yeah, major title change tonight. Darby's going to win the title. I'm like, what? So that's why I tuned in. Well, I wanted to tune in. Just like when I told BDC about whatever, I'm like, I don't know how these people are figuring this shit out, but they figure it out.
I hate that. Stop spoiling shit like that for me.
It's crazy.
Let me live in the moment and let me watch the damn show. I don't do spoilers and I hate it. That's why, when around pay-per-view season comes or the time, get off of Facebook, get off of socials, because as soon as I see something that I want to watch, and sorry, Ray, I ruined the Taker moment. I don't want that happening to me.
Yeah, but I think Jey Uso and Cameron already overshadowed overshadowed Darby Allin. You ain't hearing nothing about Darby. It's all about Jey Uso right now. World Star, all that stuff like that.
That's
the shit.
Obviously.
My man came back with the ice pack on his head.
With the ice pack under his head.
I lost it. And then the dude he talked to after that, he's like, yo, man, if you're going to WrestleMania, I got a bodyguard for you.
Well, you're comparing a wrestler beating a wrestler to a wrestler eating an influencer in the hip hop game and social media. It's completely different. The tension's going to be a lot bigger.
Cam played that off. Cameron played that off well, though. He did.
Yeah,
like that. The whole crew played it off expertly. Cameron asking me, "Yo, where was you at, bro?"
Where the fuck were you at? Oh, that shit was hilarious. Yo, so
where's that reference from? I was right there, right by. Oh, Rush Hour.
Yeah. It was crazy because it's WrestleMania weekend. I'm sitting there scrolling. My YouTube feed is going crazy with stuff going on. Next thing I see, It Is What It Is podcast. I'm looking like, wait, what the hell Jey Uso doing? Like lunging at Cam. He's trying to hug him. I was like, I gotta watch this. It was like the first clip. And I was like, this is good right here.
My man talking, but Cam hit the line of the night though. That shit was funny. He was like, yo, I can't smell what the Usos cooking. I'm like, yo, bro, really? That's what you got going, bro. He was like, stop bringing me all these Saturday WrestleMania guys. Bring me a Sunday.
Yeah.
I was like, damn, bro.
When he said that,
I was like, damn. Bro.
The other line that he said, the other line he said, yeah, you came from wrestling royalty. We got a royal family. Like, who are you above right now? He's like, oh, my dad is Rikishi. Cam just sitting there like, he was like, I got the Wild Samoans and my uncle. Got my cousin The Rock. I got Roman Reigns. Like, yeah, fuck out of here. Like, you ain't over him. He was like, Jey was just mad serious. It was just hilarious just how it just played out. And then he was just like, he's like, yo, man, you gotta stop the disrespect, man. This is my world right here. He's like, all right. Then he was like, do you prefer being a singles wrestler or a tag team wrestler? He's like, everybody wants to be a singles wrestler. That's, just how it is. And then, but I like tag on my brother. And then Cam like, you a tag team N-word. Like, you a tag team N-word. Jay Uso's like, you know what? F you. He's like, Jim Jones is better anyway. Like, it was just funny. I'm just laughing my ass off. I'm like, yo, oh, this is good.
I'm sorry.
This is good. And
Yo.
then Shannon Sharp got his live show going on for 2 days. Jay, what's going on stage? Like, what happened to you and Cameron? He's like, yo, man, he just disrespected me. He's like, what's it work? He's like, you know how it is, man. He's like, you know how it is. And he's like, you ain't gonna talk bad about me like that. And then he got into the whole Miss Parker thing.
Did he admit it?
Yeah.
Oh, everybody knows he's with Miss Parker. We all know that.
He did one of them numbers, but
He knows. We all know. We all
he admitted
know.
he admitted he humping down Miss Parker.
she eating.
Yeet.
All right,
Just get back on top.
All right, speaking on Yeaton, Strap, he's on location right now. He is on his way to Calcutta. But all right, we about to get into it right now. This is pre-WCW era, pre-Hogan era right here, but they are loaded with talent. We have Hall of Famers. We got Ric Flair, Ricky Steamboat. We got Sting, Ravishing Rick Rude. We got Vader, Cactus Jack, stunning Steve Austin, and the great Muta. Platano wasn't familiar with Great Muta and Stone Cold or Stunning Steve's work, but he definitely was about to experience it watching this show. So, from watching the show, Platano, did it feel like a big show or just another WCW show? That's it.
In the beginning, it was mixed. So it was like one of those typical WCW shows that we've reviewed before they had the Cruiserweight division. But as the night went on, I felt that it started to pick up more, and the prestige of the WCW actually showed its worth. Unfortunately, it just the wrong investments or whatever. That company really should have still been alive, in my opinion. But there's a different company that's thriving kind of like that, but unfortunately, it's doesn't have the stars like they do.
Well, yeah, I think WCW on its own, it functioned fairly well in the late '80s, early and mid '90s. I think their issue, their problem, which was kind of the same with AEW for a while, was you tried to go head to head against WWE. WWE is simply more mainstream, so the thought that you're just gonna go head to head, and they did it for a while. They did go head to head. They was actually spanking Raw every week for a while, but then they get cocky. They do some dumb shit. They want to announce that Mankind's gonna win the title, and then all of a sudden you do that. Everybody's immediately invested in Mick Foley because he's just that lovable character, and it was over. It was a wrap after that. So
Strapfax's favorite character.
Sometimes it's smart to just stay in your lane. If you're beating a competition week after week, and you don't have to do something like try to, force people to not watch by announcing the decisions because it's pre-taped. Just focus on your show, man. Focus on your show, and you'll be good. AEW, their problem was they wanted to start competing against WWE and was getting beat by NXT. So
2 weeks, 3.
Yeah, but you're AEW. You should be getting beat by NXT at all. So
I would say AEW, they announced that they were going to be on Wednesday night months ahead, and then all of a sudden NXT decided to go from Tuesday to Wednesday, and they wanted to start 2 weeks ahead to get ahead of the whole Wednesday night. So I got to blame WWE on that one because they like to counter program against AEW since the beginning because they don't see them as competition, but they do see the quality. Because especially these contracts that these guys have gotten, a lot of it wouldn't have happened without AEW. Wrestling as a whole would have just not been where it's at right now, I think. Maybe with the tribal chief.
And that's the thing, because AEW, what did AEW do? AEW gave guys who had otherwise no shot at WWF for whatever reason, gave them a platform to perform. Gave them such a platform to perform where they exceeded expectations, or maybe they didn't get the look that they should have gotten, but maybe WWE saw something and like, you know what, we should go after that guy. And then, you gave people who didn't have an option, a mainstream option to get their names out there. I mean, Ethan Page. Did you know Ethan Page? Did you know Ethan Page in the Indies, or did you know him from AEW before he came to WWE?
Tony
AEW.
Khan's favorite wrestler.
Yeah, guys like that. It's like, and in
Have
return,
some gems.
but you got guys from WWF as well who's like, you know what? I don't like this. I don't like the lifestyle here. Let me go ahead and let me see if I can go here, dial it back, maybe wrestle fewer matches, but be able to kind of do A, B, and C, do work indie dates if I want to, and then you know. So I mean, AEW is good for the wrestling business. Period. We can rag on it all day long, but it's good for the wrestling business. Period, because it gives wrestlers another mainstream option that's not WWE or not affiliated with WWE. Because now with TNA being in a partnership, which oddly enough, TNA had an AEW partnership at one point in time too. So it's good for business. It's good for business.
I know this isn't related to the show right now, but God rest
Yep,
his soul,
just totally-
Brody Lee. Do
Absolutely
you think
forgot
if he
about
was still alive, and the whole release and unrelease of Bray Wyatt, what AEW could have done with those two guys in the same company? Because Bray Wyatt he had the mind beyond his time, and he's around the same age as me and Dom, and when his death came, it hurt us significantly because we're fathers right now. We we want to take care of our family, but I think Dom is out behind the closed doors. Dom is one of the most creative guys I know behind this show, so I'm going to give you your props right now before anybody even knows what's going on. To have someone like that, and Bray Wyatt, and then you have a brother in arms who didn't get the respect he deserved while he was at WWE. While he did win the Intercontinental title, the big man upstairs wasn't really paying attention to all the other stuff he was doing. But when he finally went to a company that, let him loose, let him become who he is, it showed that if you actually have the right booking or the right company behind you, you can be a star, but you need to make yourself one as well. You can't just be handed the keys. You have to learn how to drive the car.
Well, and I think to that effect, I think the worst part of it all is Bray Wyatt was finally able.
Yes.
He was finally able to, drive the car, as he said, get the keys and drive the car. And it would have been amazing to see once he got that door open. If Brody Lee was still there, if he was still in WWE when Bray Wyatt was given those keys, what they could have done together. What they could have done together, like just like you wonder in WWE or in AEW what he would have done, because I'm pretty sure he would have gone by his actual name if he had gone to AEW. Would have gone by Wyndham, some variation, and just seeing him and Brody work together, being totally unhinged and just being able to just let loose on their own and do their own thing. I imagine that would have been something absolutely outstanding. It would have been outstanding because purely once Brody Lee got over there, you could tell Brody Lee had that mindset. He had it.
I didn't see that. I did not see that just because the way they treated him and the way they portrayed him, he seemed like he was like aloof, not really like a smart character. But you don't know the guys until you give them a chance.
And the thing of it is if you really look back at early Wyatt family Harper, before he became the part of the brothers with
the Bludgeon Brothers,
the Bludgeon Brothers, before he became that, when he was, and I would even say before Braun Strowman joined the family. If you really pay attention to him then and look at his Exalted One character, he was trying to let part of that out in that character, but it was just like they kept him in. even if it was the gestures, the way he looked at people when he was in the ring, just the little things that he was able to put on full display in AEW. If you look at his early run before even Braun Strowman joined the Wyatt family, you will see he was trying to get some of that out. They just kind of kept him closed in.
Okay. I'm gonna have to do some research on that.
Yeah.
And look at little, snippets.
Yeah. Yep.
I was a fan.
Look at the
I definitely was a
gestures,
fan.
the maneuvers. Look at all of that. Look at all of it.
We lost two greats from that family way too
Yep.
early. They, in my opinion, they will always be Hall of Famers, no matter what company they're in.
And unfortunately, I think Rowan is stuck because of that. He hasn't been able to elevate himself because he's been stuck. He's literally been stuck there ever since Brody died. He's been literally stuck there. He has not been able to move past that.
It sucks. No, I know it's tough. You lose a brother, two brothers like that, and
Yeah.
it sucks.
Yeah.
Yep.
They were trying to push him when the Wyatt family split and Harper blew up and won the Intercontinental title, but Rowan,
He
who
stuck.
was he? He was teaming with John Cena, I believe, at some point, but it was like nothing.
It made no
No.
sense.
Yeah, it made nothing. Yeah, so
I wish him well though. I
Yeah,
really
hey.
do.
he's getting a paycheck.
Yep,
He's
he's
good.
getting a paycheck. He's getting a paycheck, and he gets the honor bray every time he's out in the ring. So I'm pretty sure he's happy.
There you go. All right, let's get to it. Spring Stampede, 1994.
Let's go.
We got Tony Schiavone and Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary. In our opening match, we have Johnny B. Bad taking on DDP, Diamond Dallas Page with the Diamond Doll. Me and BDC seen these guys wrestle numerous times. And this
I've
is
heard you guys plenty of
yeah,
times.
and this is way before Nitro even existed, because we still got another year before Nitro even exists.
Dally
So-
looks huge here. I'm like, yo, you straight out the bar.
Yeah, so DDP was a gimmick at this time. But Platano, did you see like an early potential out of him at this moment right here in 1994?
Looking at that DDP at that time, I wouldn't really see anything right there. I'm like, not a fan of the singlet with DDP, knowing what he'd become later on the road. But hey, ain't nothing wrong with having a diamond doll. Other than that, I didn't see it. Mark, Johnny B. Bad, man. The second I seen him, I'm like, oh, that's money. That dude is money. Even if he doesn't get the world title, I'm like, something about him. Just you want to see him get pushed.
Johnny B. Bad leaned heavily into everything that made people uncomfortable with him. He leaned heavily into all that, the mascara, all the stuff like that. The talking like Little Richard, all of that. He leaned so heavily into that, but the dude can straight go in the ring, which made it that much worse. So no matter how uncomfortable you got, you couldn't say that stuff to his face. He might literally knock your ass out.
Yeah,
so
he was a Golden Glove boxer.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
Golden Gloves. I mean, this dude was the truth. This dude is the truth. And he, as I said, leaned heavy into all of that. And he was just
The longest time since I was a kid, I thought my man was black for the longest time, man.
I did too.
I'm like, yo, that was the biggest work of all time. That man had a good ass tan. He was recently on the Chris Van Vliet podcast. I listened to it.
Light skin.
And then
that dude is
next you know, he called his dad.
Boy.
A collect call. And my dad, he's like, my dad's Jewish, so he don't want to answer no collect calls. So I say, Dad, don't hang up. I got something really important to tell you. Mark, what is it? Mark, what is it? They want me to be a professional wrestler. Yeah, right. They want, the singer Little Richard, they want me to portray him. Say, you're not black, you're Jewish. Next thing you know, it's like, get out of here with this gibberish, blah, blah, blah. But Dad, they're willing to pay me such and such thousands of dollars.
$100,000.
Oh, I like that, Little Richard. Yeah, you do. Yeah. I was like, oh man. He said on the Chris Van Vliet episode, I was laughing. I'm like, yeah. Oh,
I think any dad would be like, you know what?
Oh,
I think you should just go for it.
Mind.
Yeah.
I changed my mind. You go for it, son.
Yeah, man.
I got your back.
Now,
For real.
$100,000 in that time right now would
Yeah.
be the equivalent maybe like 250 or 200 maybe.
It would actually
Maybe more than that probably,
no.
right?
He 100,000 even back then is closer to $1 million now, or maybe even a little over.
Seriously?
Yeah. That,
Shit.
yeah.
In early 90s, yeah, that's big money right there.
Yeah.
Man.
Oh, then I need to start getting a tan.
I mean,
For real. All right, well, the fans were hot for this match. My man Johnny hit the kiss that don't miss that sent DDP flying outside the ring. And then they got back in the ring. Johnny hits him with a sunset flip off the top rope for the win. Guys, does this match matter?
I think so. It was actually pretty decent. It was slower than I've seen some of these matches with you guys described, and I went back and watched, but it was not bad. It was a good highlight for Johnny B. Bad. A little bit for DDP, but it is mostly about Johnny.
All right. BDC, doesn't matter.
it mattered for Johnny B. Bad's career at this time. This was all about showcasing Johnny B. Bad, showing what he's really made of. DDP, like Platano said, DDP wasn't there yet. He was at this point. He was basically a glorified manager that was starting to wrestle. He wasn't there yet. So this was all about making Johnny B. Bad look good, and it did. And as I said, as we know from the literally almost 4 months straight of non-televised matches on Nitro where they battle for the U.S. title every week, they had chemistry and they worked well together. I mean, to put two people in the same match every week for literally, it felt like months, and then be able to put them on TV and that story not go stale is something. That's crazy.
That's tough.
That's crazy.
Especially, well, back in the days,
Yeah.
you got to think about it. Media is not the way it is now, but
Yeah.
if they were to do that now and still get away with it, we might have some superstars.
Yeah, and the crazy thing is if you really think about it, like I said, they were showcasing Johnny B. Bad, right? They were showcasing Johnny B. Bad, showcasing by Johnny B. Bad. By the end of their feud, they were starting to showcase DDP a little bit. He had actually started to put in the work to get his body in shape. They were starting to put in the work to make him look legit too. So by the time that feud was over, they both looked legit.
Mhm.
So it was kind of like the feud that fed both of them. And Denver was like, all right, we're going to feed Johnny B. Bad for right now. Once he's firmly established, we're going to start feeding DDP. And that's ultimately what happened. They both got fed out of this feud.
Totally agree
And
with
Kimberly
you.
became a Nitro girl.
And a great scene on a movie.
40-year-old virgin.
Yes.
There you go. All right. Well, this match, it definitely does matter. The crowd was hot for it. And they had a rivalry. And DDP is one of the reasons why Mark Mero got over in WWE.
Yeah.
With that TKO.
It's
Yeah.
true. That is
And-
true. Forgot
and-
about that.
At the time, it was called the Tutti Frutti. It was called the
Okay.
Tutti Frutti. Yep.
Okay.
check out Mark Mero's episode on Chris Van Vliet's episode podcast. It was definitely worth the
Great listen, man. Great listen. Oh, my God.
All right.
I would love to meet that man.
Yes. All right. Our next match is for the TV title. We have Flying Brian Pillman taking on Lord Steven Regal, William Regal, as y'all know. So, you know, the TV title has a time limit. And this match, Brian Pillman, he came out hot out the gate. He was bringing it to Regal. And like I said, this match has a time limit. They went the full distance. They went 15 minutes. Match is over. Regal kept the title. Man, like, all right, why did y'all pull the trigger on Brian Pillman right here? This was a good-ass match. It was a great showcase. I love Brian Pillman, and I was a big fan of Regal, especially the way he used to suplex everybody. Hey, dream match. I wouldn't mind if we ever do another fancy card. I like to see William Regal in his prime taking on Taz. Who's suplexing who, and who's getting choked out?
And listen.
Imagine that.
We all know. Brother, dumping him on his head. Easy.
I don't know. Regal was different, bro.
I know he was.
Regal was different.
Taz don't sell for that.
Regal was a man's man.
He's a man.
Yes.
He was.
Yes. Well, the real man, William Regal, and before the loose cannon, Brian Pillman.
Yeah.
This
Flying
match
Brian.
right here felt so legit.
Yes, it did.
So legit. It was so damn good. I enjoyed it. But the finish, like, damn, can we get 5 more minutes?
And that's why you got what you got.
Yes. Yes, I agree. It was
left them die, left them begging for more.
It went the way I thought it would too. I thought it was going to be a quick and fast paced type of match, and then Rigo would try to slow it down, bring it down to the ground and pound. And I know Brian was going to have to be scrambling towards the end. He just mislapsed in judgment and forgetting the time limit. And I was like, you screwed up, brother. You screwed up. But like you said, left me wanting more. So to me, this match does matter, though.
Yep.
This match matters.
Yes, sir.
Next match, this is 1994, but we're getting a little bit of ECW in here. We got a Chicago street fight. First of all, every time we have a street fight, why is it always in Chicago? How can we never get Brooklyn or Texas or anything like that? Why is it always Chicago?
I don't know.
Well, at this point, Chicago was the hot topic.
The Bulls,
everything,
right?
Everything, yeah, between the Bulls and other things. I mean, Chicago was a hot topic, so we're gonna go with Chicago.
Still is.
If you want it in 1994, if you wanted the hooker match, you choose New York and 42nd Street. But
It's true.
you want a street fight, you want Chicago.
All right, well, we are in Chicago. We have the street fight. It's for the tag team titles. We have the Nasty Boys, Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sags, and they are taking on Cactus Jack and Max Payne. And, man, these guys, they were bringing it to the table. And like I said, we had a little glimpse of ECW right here before ECW blown up. They still might have been Eastern Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
But these guys are laying it in because I feel like, what was it, Uncensored 95 that we covered? We seen, what was it, the Nasty Boys and Harlem Heat in the street fight?
Yep, I was thinking that too. I'm like, all right, they had a street fight too, and I'm like, is there a concession stand in this one too? Okay, anytime you see a street fight, Nasty Boys, there's gonna be a concession stand dropping.
Plenty of hot dogs and ketchup, and maybe.
So I was thinking, was the Nasty Boys ever in the ECW? Did they ever make an appearance?
I don't think
little stop and
so.
go type of appearance. I'm not sure.
Well,
I don't look that up.
I don't know.
Everybody made an appearance. Ron Simmons made an appearance.
Yeah, everybody at one point.
Yeah, so
most people make an appearance.
Yeah, so I was curious.
Point.
I'm like, damn.
Let's see.
Looking right now.
They did not go to ECW.
No.
Wow.
Actually,
yeah, you're right. They would be a perfect fit for them.
Well, yeah. Somebody tried to I think somebody tried to play it off for 2K, but it doesn't look like they ever actually went to ECW themselves.
That was Public Enemy. People try to confuse that. I'm like, different company.
How the hell you gonna confuse Public Enemy? Wait,
that's me. You'd be surprised. These non-wrestling fans like, wait, the Nasty Boys? It's like, man, shut up.
Like, no. Like the Nasty Boys and no.
Public Enemy, no way. No fucking way.
No. Public Enemy, if ECW didn't exist, Public Enemy wouldn't, and there would have never been a tag team.
I agree.
Maybe you see Public Enemy in the Tag Team Madness coming out next month.
I better not.
No, absolutely not.
They might have made the list.
Someone's going to make a list, all right.
I will choke Booby right now.
No, Booby didn't put him on the list. Booby didn't put him on the list.
There better not be one of the people that you've been talking to. Get rid of them.
No.
Yeah, no.
Coming soon next month. But this match, it was chaotic. They were all over the place. You already know what Cactus Jack was all about. Max Payne.
Oh yeah.
Mad Mountain Rock in WWF. The Nasty Boys, you already know they were violent. And my God, when Jerry Sags took my work shovel from the back of my pickup truck and when he cracked Cactus Jack, oh my God.
I saw that. I was like, ouch. I'm like,
crazy.
good thing that wasn't the metal one, because I'm like,
jeez. Shoot. I think that was the shovel that buried him in WCW right there. Oof, Jesus.
Every time I see a hardcore match with Mick Foley in it, the first thing I think about is how is he still here? Because God,
You see how he walks. Oh,
I tell everybody, man.
that dude takes
Probably the MVP of the Attitude Era. Hands down, has to be the MVP of the Attitude Era. If not, at least
that dude takes some shots.
At least 6-man, man. At least.
Yeah, he definitely top 6 for the Attitude Era. That's for sure.
That dude. I mean, literally, he's just like, put me in the ring with your biggest stars, and I will sell for all of them, no matter what you do.
He's literally what Barry Allen.
What?
Not Barry. Darby Allen is. Flash. He's literally Darby Allen with 200 more pounds. That's literally what you're looking at.
Yeah.
Well, about 100 more pounds, but still.
I mean, he is like, I think he definitely influenced some guys out there. There's some guys out there now who like Spike Dudley. He may never admit it, but if that dude is definitely inspired, because that dude takes some shots. Like, he's just like, yeah, don't worry about it. Just go ahead, lay me.
He's not doing that no more.
Like,
you already said
Brock,
he's not doing that.
Brock, you want to powerbomb me 18 times in a row? Go for it. Knock yourself out. Like,
he had to do something to stand out, and that was it. Mick Foley's he's gonna get beat up every damn week, and look at him now.
I mean, imagine a guy that puts his body on the line so hard he makes the people he's facing uncomfortable.
Yeah,
that is Spike Dudley. That is Mick Foley. They literally, because it's like
that is Darby Allin.
I really don't want to throw you through this. Yeah, Darby Allin too. I really don't want to hit you in the back of the head with glass tubing. No, go ahead. I'm fine.
Don't worry. I'll just throw myself off the top rope and hit a damn coffin with no protection on.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And gets up. It's like, what is wrong with you? How are you even doing that?
Yeah. Like I think of that dude in GCW. What was it?
Nick Gage.
Nick Gage.
Oh,
and
we met him. He seemed like he had it all together. But then you look at the matches he has, you're like,
like he's another one. It's just like he's like. But the difference with Nick Gage is Nick Gage is more like, I'm gonna do this to you, as opposed to like, go ahead and do this to me. Nick Gage is like, I'll be that hardcore guy, but I'm gonna beat everybody else down. Ain't nobody touching me. It's like,
that's facts.
Yeah, like you'll hit me every now and again, but I'm putting all the work. Whereas all these other guys are like, no. You need this. You need to make this look scary. Let's go.
Nick Gage reminds me of that character in The Watchmen, the one that takes a lot of beating, the rage. The hell's his freaking name?
No, I'll tell you exactly who Nick Gage reminds me of. He reminds me of Indy's John Moxley.
Okay. Yeah.
Indy's John Moxley, not AEW version, but the Indies version of him. The Indies version of him.
I've looked up some of this indie stuff. I'm like, Jesus, John. Oof.
Yeah.
You got noticed.
Yeah. Yep. That's all it takes. All right, back to this match. Does it matter? Nasty Boys and Cactus Jack and
absolutely.
My man, what's the Max Payne?
Plus, they didn't
love a little violence.
It was quick and to the point too. It wasn't drawn out. It was what we wanted, 10 minutes max. And unfortunately, Mick Foley got bashed in the head, so John is happy.
Yeah.
All right. Well, our next match is for the United States title. We have Stunning Steve Austin taking on the Great Muta, and Bobby the Brain Heenan probably had the line of the night. He said, "Man, I never seen Muta wrestle while he's alive."
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh man.
I'm like, this dude, he is on something.
I don't think anybody's ever gonna be better than the Brain on the announce table, man.
With him.
There will never be anybody better than Bobby. Oh my God. Ray, yes, I'll admit that he is the greatest on the announce table.
He's
but
the GOAT.
Management, I don't know. It's still tough. I got Heyman still.
That's another debate. But all right, let's talk about it. Stunning Steve Austin. You've seen the potential. He was already there. He's still trying to figure things out, but we know the man could work. And it still blows my mind that Bischoff couldn't see that right here in 1994, right here.
I think
Too much
everybody
blonde
could
hair.
He was losing the hair. You gave him a mouthpiece of Colonel Parker, which he didn't really need. Yeah, he didn't even need it. But this match was good.
My thing is, what did you need Robert Parker for when you already had him and Brian Pillman when they were the Hollywood Blondes, and he was talking that smack back then?
Exactly.
Maybe he didn't have the Stone Cold gimmick where he was really like rough and guff and just really going off cuff and saying whatever the F he wants, but Jesus, man, he had it all, man. He really did. And it's just scary to think that he went from this Ric Flair style wrestler bumping around and taking bumps and this, that, and the third, and he looked great doing it. Went to the brawler style, and that's where the money came in. That's when everyone was like, you know what?
Well,
We want this guy.
Well, I mean, the brawler style allowed him to stand out. I think one of his biggest problems with his run in WCW, despite the fact that he, like we all saw, he's pretty damn good, is that there were quite a few guys that were like him at the time. I mean, Ric Flair being right at the top of that list.
Yep.
You know, the guy that could really get it done in the ring, but he's more of a flamboyant and such. And you know, there was a lot of guys like that, so it was easy for him to get lost. You put him with the Hollywood Blondes, and they were successful.
Mhm.
But at the end of the day, they were like, we need to invoke his dark side to really make him rise. And even in that, they were probably just couldn't get past the hair. So, you know, they let him go, which was clearly the biggest mistake they've ever made. And, you know, he took his time at ECW trying to figure out what he wanted to be. Then he goes to WWF, and even in WWF, they have him as the ringmaster, which was like,
Stupid.
bruh.
I think in ECW, he might have had maybe like 1 or 2 matches.
That's
I want to
it,
say
yeah.
that because he was nursing an injury.
He still had the tricep injury.
But he
Yeah.
he had promos. If you remember,
The
if you remember the legendary Steve O'Mania promo where he basically was doing Hulk Hogan, and then halfway through he was like, "Man, what the f- am I doing?" He's just throwing stuff down and just walks out. And that was like literally the last time you saw him. He was gone after that.
Yeah.
I was like,
So,
I mean,
so everybody knows that
right here.
they got the big Hogan signing coming up. All right.
Mhm.
Can we see Hogan fighting this guy? Nah, I can't see that. We're getting rid of you. Boom.
Yeah.
That's basically what happened.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody saw what was to come in the next 2-3 years.
Yeah, he
Steve
had a decent salary. Does nah, we gonna get rid of you. DDP, you're cheap.
Yeah,
keep him around.
We'll keep you. Then look, that worked out for them right there. But yeah, and then they got rid of guys to bring in Hogan's guys that we already seen beforehand, and that's what happened. Instead of him working with new talent, that's just
he
telling you
worked
that
with
Hogan
the old guys.
Yeah, Hogan couldn't work
Which
with new talent.
which that again
work with new talent.
But again, but for a while it worked because it was like, okay, well, WWE's got this new talent. We don't really want to watch the new talent. We want our Hulk Hogan's. We want our Diesels. We want our Razor Ramones. You know, we want those guys. Oh, Macho Man's there too. Yeah, we want Macho. We want the big names. We don't. It's not like it is now where the big names don't really matter. Like the legendary names are good for the cheap pop, but they're not really good for. Oh, we just have to go watch what they're not like that now. So back then it was about the big names, and that's why WWE had to suffer those growing pains with building up the Shawn Michaels, building up Triple H, you know, building up those guys, bringing along Bret Hart into a singles career, bringing up British Bulldog into a singles career. All these things that you may have thought, well, maybe we don't have to do that because they're established already. Now you have to do it because the big names are elsewhere. And, you know, but at the end of the day, what came out of it? Stone Cold's a fucking legend. Triple H is a fucking legend. Shawn Michaels is a fucking legend. These are all guys that ultimately grew up and outlasted WCW as a company, and literally outlasted a majority of the WCW roster that was there when it dissolved. So, I mean,
You fucked up, Bischoff. You fucked up.
Eric screwed Eric.
Yep. All right, so back to this match. I was digging the match.
I'm tan. You saw that damn tweet? I was like, you really just said, oh, look at this guy. Shows up to work and he's tan. I said, you you son of a.
That's all it takes. All right, well, I was digging this match. The match was good, but in the 90s and early WCW days, if you throw somebody over the top rope, you automatically get disqualified.
I was like, oh.
That's what they did back in the 90s. Muta hit that backdrop over the top rope to Austin, and match is over. Stone Cold wins.
That was because
like
Cowboy was
ass finish.
That was Cowboy running the show at the time, right?
Yeah. A weak ass finish. You can't do this. So you have 2 title matches. One, the TV time limit. All right, that's fine. But then you get this one, back body drop over the top rope. Oh, disqualified. Like, get the hell out of here, man.
That was stupid.
Yeah, I never understood the over the top rope rule. That always just seemed to be the dumbest rule ever. Because I mean, literally, you could go over the top rope by accident. So it's like,
what about when they were clotheslining guys over the top rope? That didn't count?
All depends on the circumstance. When it matters. So,
That's just,
yeah. So
it was a rule from back in the early, was it the 70s going into the 80s, and because they wanted to keep everybody in the ring.
In the ring, yeah.
Just tell the guys don't jump off the rope and leave the high flyers to do the one flying move. That's it.
That killed it for me, man. I was looking for the match. It was if Austin lost clean or Muta lost clean or dirty, whatever, that's fine. But that finish,
that's
terrible.
The match was great, but that ending was like, what? That's a DQ? I was just getting ready to be like, do I really want to watch the rest of the show now? But I gave it a shot. There was some more stuff I wanted to see at least.
Yeah, so that messed it up for me. So it does not matter.
I agree.
Damn.
Such a good match, though.
It was such a good match, and they just ruined it. Damn booking.
You ruined it.
Damn it. I'm trying to get him a WrestleMania, damn it. There goes the money. Oh, damn it. Shane, pick him up.
I blow up my quads making that comment.
Ouch. That's it. All right, well, our next match is for the WCW International Championship, which at this time is the big gold. We have Sting taking on your champion, a ravishing Rick Rude. And before Rick Rude can even start talking crazy, Harley Race comes to the ring, and he's saying Vader wants a shot at whoever wins. And then Harley Race tried to do a cheap shot to Sting, and then Sting wasn't having it, took his ass out. Rick Rude trying to attack him from behind. Sting
wasn't having that
Rick
either.
Rude up, man. Sting is cleaning the house.
Yeah, it was.
And man, it was a good match. It was good. And Rick Rude was.
I forgot how good Rick Rude was. Oh,
Rude
my God.
was chiseled.
Yeah.
That man, no body fat.
Nope.
That's the definition of a real man right there, man.
Facts. I'm like looking. I'm like, you motherfucker.
Yeah, man.
Gotta get back in the gym. You son of a bitch.
No body fat whatsoever, and like he looked good. The way he sold everything was Sting do like the backdrop and the Rude tiptoeing, holding his back. He just prepping for later on in his career, but he showing off his glutes to the chicks, and then every match, like his trunks will always come down, and everybody get exposed to seeing the buttocks of Rick Rude, and oh man, it was wild.
He's an ass man.
Yeah, Rick Rude was the original ass man.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, so Sting trying to stinger splash Rick Rude in the corner, but the ref, he took the bump as well. Sting put him in Scorpion Deathlock, and he's trying to get the ref to help him out. Like, yo, wake up. Yep. Harley Race comes back out. Sting just took him out. Race is running to the rope. Sting just duck. Race just go flying over the rope, and the Vader comes out. Sting's taking him out too, and then we get the
knocks out.
finish. They trying to get a chair. Nick Botwinkle trying to stop Vader, but Harley Race grabs the chair. Sting set up for the rude awakening, about to get hit by the chair. He just stops, plants. He ducks, and then fucking Harley Race hits Rick Rude with the chair. Boom. 1, 2, 3. Sting is your new champion. Rude is laid out. He is busted open, and he is pissed the hell off when he woke up.
I would be too.
Oh my God!
Had him in the rude awakening. Don't touch me. Get away.
It was a good ass match, and then it had me thinking, why wasn't Rude ever a contender in WWF for the championship? We could have had Rick Rude and Hogan. We had Rude and Hogan.
No, we had Rude versus Warrior.
I'd rather see Rude and Hogan go at it.
That's the thing, brother.
We might have it on maybe one of them Coliseum home videos. It might have popped up there, but
I tell you what, Rude versus Hogan would have really sold some tickets, in my opinion. I don't know, because he didn't want to go against a body like that, and then being upstage. But Rude.
All right, so Rick Rude and Hulk Hogan for your
January 9th,
1988.
1988.
Yep.
1988, really?
Yep.
1988.
Yep, January 1st, 1988. All right, so it did happen.
Prior to WrestleMania
at
3.
the Boston Garden, it happened.
Boston Garden. All right.
Wow.
Well, definitely have to check that out. I'm going to add that to my watch later.
For the WWF Championship, so we already know how that went.
They probably going by, all right. It probably didn't sell out as well, so it didn't work. So that's what it probably came down to.
And was Rude even established like that at that time, or he's just coming from the NWA?
This is January, so I don't think he was IC champion at the time.
He was under Bobby the Brain at the time.
Oh, come on, that would have sold tickets. That should have sold tickets.
Rude worked under Heyman and Heenan.
Yeah.
I tell you.
You can't go wrong with those two. You can't.
And he said he challenged Hogan to an arm wrestling match in the middle.
I have it on my list. I'm definitely gonna watch it.
I'm gonna go watch it after this episode is over.
Yeah, so I enjoy the match. I'm happy Sting got the win. It matters to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
It matters to me as well.
Absolutely.
All right, it's unanimous. Sting and Rick Rude. All right, so after this, we have a bunkhouse match. We have Bunkhouse Buck taking on Dustin Rhodes. Yes, we talked about them in Uncensored 95 and the King and the Rose match, but this is the Bunkhouse Buck's first show on WCW TV, and we got some old school Southern wrestling right here. And I didn't know what the hell a bunkhouse match was. I'm just assuming it's another word for a street fight.
Well, I will share this little tidbit with you. I did not know what a bunkhouse match was before this match. I didn't know what a bunkhouse match was during this match. I didn't know what a bunkhouse match was after this match. Because whatever this was, it didn't differentiate itself from any other match that I've ever seen that would make it unique to being a bunkhouse match.
Hey, BDC, you might remember. Didn't somebody get caned back in the day, back in like 1994? ECW, they used to cane people, but wasn't like somebody significant back in the news that got caned?
They got caned?
Yeah. Back in the early 90s, around this time frame, I want to say. Like ECW was doing it. I think
ECW had Sandman. Sandman was just
but I think somebody significant got caned, whatever. It made like the news or whatever. But I just thought it was funny.
Not Tommy Dreamer.
No, I'm talking about like actual newsworthy stuff, not wrestling.
Really?
Yeah.
It might have been like from a different country or something, where I guess like that was the punishment.
I think it was some type of punishment. Yeah.
I'm looking it up.
Because I know when I watched there was something with Batista where I guess he was doing like training for MMA. I don't know if it was like Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or Judo or something, where at the end of whatever his training was, all his students or all the people would cane him as he walks by everyone. I'm just like,
Yeah, but that's not what we're talking about. I think there's a cane like for like a punishment, I want to say.
Yeah, so let's see.
Singapore cane.
All right, so now the kid wasn't famous, but in 1994, this kid, an American teenager who lived in Singapore, named Michael Fay. He was arrested for stealing road signs and vandalizing 18 cars over 10 days. Under the 1966 Vandalism Act, he was sentenced on March 3rd, 1994 to 4 months in jail, $3,500 fine, and 6 strokes of the Singapore cane.
That's it?
Bill Clinton urged Singapore to commute the caning, calling it excessive. And the Singapore president at the time, Ong Teng Chong, granted clemency, reducing the sentence to just 4 strokes.
And you said that was March of 94?
Yeah, so it was actually done in May. He was strapped to a H-shaped table and flogged with a soaked Singapore cane. Man, that shit hurt.
Yeah, see?
Look, getting hit with a dry, what they call rattan cane, hurts. Soaking that shit in water, though? What? Oh, my God.
It's crazy. The reason why I say that because Tony Schiavone wouldn't say Singapore cane. This man said a 1x2. I said, what the hell is a 1x2? Not no 2x4, a 1x2.
A 1x2?
That's what he called it?
Yeah, he didn't say Singapore cane. He said 1x2.
I've never heard that.
Never in my life.
I love you, Tony. You got some funny shows.
Yeah, but that was straight out your ass. Straight out
to get hit by that 1x2. I'm like, what the hell is a 1x2? It's a Singapore cane. Yo, Bunkhouse Buck cracked him over the back so bad the damn cane went in the first row.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I seen the lady who go back like that. Like, oh wow.
That's crazy. That is crazy.
Oh man. And it's just funny. A year later, they have an uncensored match. Dustin's bleeding again. He gets fired. This time, he bleeding like crazy. I'm like, oh man. So what the hell? What's going on here?
Well, they weren't under Disney yet. That's why.
Man. We're tired of seeing your blood.
Buck was beating Dustin Rhodes like Dusty used to beat Dustin back in the day with that damn belt.
Well, according to the announce team, Dusty never put his hands on his son, baby. So don't be talking that shit about him, because Dusty is a good daddy.
He was beating the gold dust out of his hair.
Well, maybe that, because I told him, don't go with that little hussy, baby.
Yep. Well, Buckhouse,
I gotta practice this voice more. I love it.
Buckhouse getting help from the Colonel Parker there again with the knucks, whatever you want to call them. I don't know, the tape.
Yeah. So
I think he had a roll quarters.
After he beat Dustin Rhodes from pillar to post with whatever he could find, he finally knocked him out with brass knuckles. Like, dude, you beat him for majority of the rap match. Did you really need brass knuckles at this point? It would just not be considered overkill a little bit.
Much respects to Dustin for the whole match, but jeez, I'm with you. I'm like, that was overkill. He didn't need that.
Was this a little too much old school right here? What you think?
I wouldn't say it was too much old school, but I think the match needed to have a definite, definition. You and me both, BDC. What is a bunkhouse brawl? Like, what is it? What is the actual definition? Is it just like a
look?
free
I'm
fight?
still trying.
Just say it's no DQ.
No DQ, basically.
Yeah, not
Oh
Jesus.
my goodness.
Well,
Like, I'm
fellas,
still trying to figure out
Oh.
what the hell a bunkhouse is. I mean,
It must be some Texas stuff, brother.
oh, a bunkhouse is a communal living space for workers or travelers, often in rural or mountainous areas. Like, what?
Ain't you from like West
What?
Virginia?
Nah, they're from Texas.
Like,
Well, fellas, does this
Dustin's
match
from
matter?
Texas. I'll say
the
no.
modern bunkhouse today is still in existence on some large ranches that are too far away from town.
That says it all. BDC don't care.
It has electricity.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. This match does not matter. But after this,
Because it really ain't like some real cowboy shit.
Yeah.
I need to get better lighting. Sorry.
Well, after this, what does matter? We have an interview segment backstage with Jesse the Body Ventura interviewing Ravishing Rick Rude, a bloody Ravishing
We never
Rick
even
Rude.
talked about Jesse's other interview early in the day with Mean Gene. Well, I noticed you came in with a lot of money. This is actually around the time where Jesse actually won. This is going on almost 30 plus years where Jesse sued the WWF
and
for
won.
likeness and not paying. And I just listened to Tony Schiavone's podcast where him and Conrad are joking around. He could have got paid. Jesse told him, "Hey, bro, you want to get on this? You get paid." No. After he wins, he's like, "Son of a bitch."
You want to get blackballed?
Wah, 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 wah.
I get Tony was like, I was only there for a year. What am I really gonna get? I get it, but listen, man, someone's stealing from you, get my money back.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, he's interviewing Rick Rude, and Rude is pissed off that in the heel locker room, he's going right after Vader, and we had the Nasty Boys and William Regal trying to break it up, Steven Regal trying to break it up, and Sags just holding his towel. But man,
Forgot about that.
Sags trying to hold Rick Rude back, while holding his towel at the same time.
Well,
Towel.
that's a very weird situation.
That was nasty.
Indeed.
I tell you
Simply
what,
not
when we met,
ravishing.
remember when we met Sags? I don't know what about him, but he
Bulked up. Yeah,
he's still intimidating. I was still, if you having a street fight, that's one of them guys you'd want to have in a street fight with you.
I could take knobs.
I think everybody could take knobs now. You asshole.
I'll go after him. Kick him in the foot.
What a fool.
Toes.
You ain't shit.
What a fool.
All right. Well,
Love
our
you, Nasty
next
Boys.
match. Yes, we love y'all, Nasty Boys. All right. So after this, we have Vader with Harley Race taking on the Boss, also known as the Big Boss Man. And the Boss came to fight, but Vader, he's a different breed. He's a different animal. Oh man.
Watching this, I finally seen what you keep talking about. The Beast. Not the little fucking play toy that WWF had. This one.
Vader was a monster. Vader was a monster. When the Boss is charging at him on the ramp, this is when WCW had the ramp. Like, you have to walk to the ramp.
I love that ramp, man.
I love that. Boss ducked and Vader hit the avalanche on Harley Race. And shout out to Harley Race. Harley Race, a former wrestler, retired wrestler, who could take a bump and get up within 30 seconds. Not like Triple H. Triple H get punched in the face right now. He's out till next episode.
Right.
So shout out to Harley Race right there. I like shit like that, man. Makes sense.
Harley different though. You don't heard so many stories with Ric Flair where Harley Race talks about wrestling Andre. Yeah, and then I told him slam. Andre let you slam him? Let me. I told him slam, and that's what's gonna happen. For someone to tell Andre, like, I don't care how big you are, we're gonna do this. That's respect.
What we gonna do?
Deal with it.
And then he does it.
Yeah.
Because you can talk the shit all day, but at the end of the day, you got to be able to actually do it.
Imagine riding with that motherfucker in the car, man. The Cadillac onto the next city. He just sitting there looking at you with a cigarette in his mouth, gun on his lap. I wish a motherfucker would. Like,
Yeah.
I'll
I'll tell you what, I feel safe with Harley.
Oh, absolutely.
Shit, ain't nobody gonna mess with that boy.
Give me Harley and Haku in a car, and I promise you, I'll never have an issue in the world.
Nope.
Nope. Just like that would be the thing. Like you give me two wrestlers, and I got to battle like 50 people. Give me Haku. Give me Harley.
that's what Cody say on his podcast. If you
That's
have face a zombie apocalypse, you get like 4 people who you choosing. You
Brock
got them
Lesnar.
2 right there.
I'm putting Brock in there too. That dude is gonna be moving faster and killing things left and right. And then the fourth one, well, we'll figure it out after.
I think for me, I'll take Brock. I'll take Haku. I'll take Harley. And I have to say, I'll probably take Jacob Fatu. Oh, yeah.
Shit.
That boy different. Yeah, that boy different.
Yeah.
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 That's unanimous.
Yeah. I definitely will go with that.
Then after that,
I'm loving my chances.
After that, now I'll take Bobby Lashley.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm loving my chances with that.
Oh, yeah. I'll talk mad shit. Mad shit.
Be back behind him. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Come for me, boy. Come for me. Come for me. Yeah, get him.
Oh, man. All right. Well, this match, it was definitely an interesting match, but Vader, he hits all his signature spots. A big body slam, the Vader bomb, the moonsault. He got the win.
How is he doing the moonsault at that size, bro?
That's insane. That's insane. For
He's
a big
400
man.
plus pounds.
Vader was something different.
Yeah, oh, man.
Vader was something so far past different, it was ridiculous.
I was honestly expecting a Vader bomb from the top, but when he moonsaulted and landed it, I said, "Yep."
Listen,
yeah.
We talked about how the Giant looked extra special because he was hopping over the top rope and he was doing kip ups, ring rotated kip ups and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But a 400-pounder going up to the top rope and doing a moonsault is crazy.
Clean one at that.
Yep. Hey, I'm gonna tell you all this. For the tag team madness. Multiple votes for the tag team of Vader and Bam Bam Bigelow.
What?
In Japan. I definitely gotta go back and go watch that.
Yo. Bammer is another super underrated big man.
And Vader as a tag team?
In Japan, yep.
Oh my God.
I looked them up. I said, I gotta do my research.
I feel bad for them Japanese folks because they getting smoked.
Oh shit.
Them two,
like how did they lose?
You got 2 agile big men like that? What?
How did they lose matches?
There's no way. No way.
We gotta look it up.
Bruh.
Told you, man. This bracket is going to be real. There's going to be a lot of upsets. I tell you that now.
Bam Bam Bigelow is going to be somebody we're going to have to talk about down the road. Very underrated. Gets a lot of respect in the wrestling business. And people need to, for the younger fans like Dante, our super fan Dante, go look up Bam Bam whenever you get a chance. The guy is about 300-400 pounds, a former bounty hunter, like Dog the Bounty Hunter, an actual bounty hunter, chasing guys at his size and catching them. That guy's scary. No help. No weapons, nothing. Just catching them.
You said you was going to kick me in the side of my face. You call me a liar, boy? And he was in major pain.
I forgot about that too.
Bam Bam was definitely different.
He was a star.
He came in as a babyface in WWF.
That's crazy. With that look,
he was teaming with Hogan.
That's true.
Flair was ahead, teaming with Hogan. And then, heel. Came back, Japan, and BDC, Dark Side of the Ring, Bam Bam Bigelow. Just letting you know.
Is he on Dark Side of the Ring? We never watched that one.
I watched it.
I gotta watch that.
I watch all of them joints. I like that.
Oh man.
Yeah, but yeah,
Bam is one of those guys I always wanted to discuss and talk about because he's very unique, man. Very unique. We're not putting Booby on because the guy is from Jersey, but
Park.
Yep. But love you, Booze, but don't ruin the damn show.
Oh, is he a big fan or is he a big not fan?
He's a big Jersey guy.
Yeah, he's a big Jersey guy. I'm just saying he's gonna ruin it with a bad pick.
All right, well, we could do Bam Bam in September. His birthday's in September.
There you go.
There you go. All right, but fellas, did this Boss match and Vader, does that matter?
I think it did for me. It it highlighted something I did not expect to see from Vader.
It does matter because even though it was very stupidly played out, it does explain why Ray Trella goes from being the boss to being the guardian angel.
Yeah, because after the match, the boss was whooping on Vader and Harley Race with that damn nightstick.
We already seen that plenty of times.
Shout outs to Lacey on that one. Shout out to Lacey.
Nick Bockwinkel talking about, you can't be the boss no more. The boss doesn't act like that.
He stripped him from his gimmicks.
Yeah.
How you take his name?
Well,
I'm thinking, damn, Vince is watching this match. This is a good ass match. Cease and desist.
Well, technically, that is literally what happened. The WWE went after him because he was using boss and it was too close to the big boss man. They literally, I looked it up because I was like, why would they do something stupid like that? Sure enough, WWE went after him because he was using the boss and they wanted him to stop because it was too close to big boss man.
It went as Ray Trailer.
So immediately after that match, and they took the boss name from him, he was recruited by the Guardian Angels and became a Guardian Angel. This was within 2 weeks.
With the big Big Bubba.
Yeah.
Maybe a month later.
Yeah.
Then he went to Ray Trailer, NWO. Then he went back as Big Boss Man, WWF.
I love that SWAT gear he had, though. That was my favorite gear that he had.
Oh, man. All right. Main event time for the world title, which was actually considered the fake world title.
The WCW.
The Ron Simmons belt.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, this is a big match right here because I have Michael Buffer out here. And we have the Nature Boy Ric Flair at this time. He's 11-time World Heavyweight Champion. And we got Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. And then 5 years before this, in Chicago, we covered it. Chi-Town Rumble. Flair and Steamboat. And Steamboat beat him for the title. So he's trying to do it here again. And this match, it starts off slow. Then they start chopping each other. And it's on. It is on. Ric Flair, he hits my man with that knee drop, then he rolls, and then Bobby Heenan with another line. He said, "Oh man, I knew I smelled pineapple juice." Oh, that was hilarious. That was hilarious. Oh man,
is Bobby's daughter still around?
I don't know.
Oh man, I know we probably wouldn't get a podcast with her, but I would just want to say, your dad. Oh man, he will be Tony. He's basically Tony Storm. He will always be timeless, in my opinion.
His wife might still be around, but I don't know if she'd do anything like
Well,
that.
I just want to say thank you guys for allowing us to have someone like that in our lives. To every time we see him, we know we're gonna have fun and be entertained.
Bobby was good. Yeah, Bobby was so damn good.
Well,
but this match was definitely good.
Looks like his it looks like his daughter is still around.
Okay.
Jessica Solt. Looks like it's her name. Yeah. Absolutely.
don't really need much time. It's really more of a just thank you for as as fans, because a lot of people like to bother these people. I don't. I just want to give the family their props to the guys that did it for us and keep us doing what we're doing.
Yes,
Right.
that's for sure.
Right.
Pineapple juice.
Well, like I said, this match was so good. A lot of near falls. A lot of near falls in this match. Steamboat had Ric Flair in the figure four.
Yep.
Like, man, he had that shit synced in for the longest time. And the Flair finally got out of it. The way he got out of it, just slapped Ricky in the face. And then Steamboat gets up. Why? Like, why are you walking around the ring saying why? Because right after that, Flair just kicked you right in your damn stomach.
Yep.
And then Flair just take advantage. But Ricky finally got some more advantage. Took more of the advantage. Hit the the crossbody of the top rope. Then he goes right back up again. Then goes for the splash, and he completely misses. Bang his knee. Then you already know what Ric Flair's gonna do. Ric Flair, he's that Viper right there, he's working on that knee. And then he goes right for the figure four leg lock. I'm like, this is a good ass match. And then you hear that David Penzer, 20 minutes, 25 minutes. Oh man, here we go. This is getting good. This is getting good. Next, no, Steamboat has Ric Flair in like this chicken wing position, and then
The double chicken wing. Yep.
then
That's the move he beat him with 5 years prior.
Yeah, they hit him with the suplex, and 1, 2, 3, match is over. But Steamboat thinks he won. Now the ref comes in. Nope. Both shoulders were down. So you know what that means? Ric Flair is still your champion. We got a double pin. Crazy finish. The last couple of matches been wild. I'm like, what the hell is going on in this damn booking?
I'm kind of okay with this one. I think I've only seen a match like this where you think it was I think it was a Bret Hart match where it was like a small package kind of thing where it was him and his brother. I think it was for the title. I could be completely wrong. And they thought Owen had won, but they didn't switch it. It was actually Bret. I forget. One of those weird once in a blue type of freaking small packages, but I like it. Like Ricky did beat him at the end, but he just didn't have the strength to get his shoulders up and realize that, you got to get the leverage so that way you're not the one being pinned as well. So one of those few times where, we didn't get a definitive winner, but we got what we wanted, actually. Flair's still champ.
Does it matter to you?
Yes.
All right, BDC.
Oh, absolutely.
What are your thoughts on the match?
Sending out a message that you guys will be a part of. Will get some type of notification of shortly. As long as it doesn't get, blocked. Anyway, so, yeah, I've always been a big fan of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Always been a decent fan of Ric Flair. Sometimes I got on my nerves, but for the most part, I'm still a fan. That being said, this match was classic storytelling. It was classic storytelling. And these two guys on their own can tell a story, but together they could just pull you in with everything they have on their own and everything that is around them at the time. They could just pull you in. This match is no different. It's no different. Would I rather somebody definitively win? Absolutely. But guess what? That double pin set up another series of matches between the two of them down the road, which is ultimately what everybody wanted anyway. So, it did its job. It did its job. You have both of these guys at the peak of their powers at the point. Ricky the Dragon, he was closer to the end than the beginning, but Ric Flair, he was still right in his prime, even though he was older, and it showed. The match was just great. The match was just great.
It was definitely a good match. It definitely does matter. And Ricky Steamboat, yeah, three great dance partners. Stunning Steve Austin, Macho Man Randy Savage, and Nature Boy Ric Flair.
I agree.
He was good.
Yep.
He was good. But he wasn't beating Flair again at this time. Imagine, can't even say imagine Ricky's turn heel because he was too much of a baby face. Imagine we had him and Hogan in '94.
Oof.
But it wouldn't work because you got 1A and 1B right there for baby faces, so it definitely wouldn't work right there. But it'd be pretty interesting.
I don't feel. I mean, Hogan has, regardless of what people say, Hogan has been known to sell a lot more than people realize. I think surprisingly enough, Ricky would actually highlight Hogan a little bit more, like when Hogan went to New Japan and did a little bit of selling with was it Inoki? That wasn't Inoki. Was that Muta they went against? It as much shit that Hogan gets, and I know Booby can't stand him, and I have my feelings about Hogan as well. I gotta give the man his props. When he had to go do his thing and actually sell, the guy knew how to work. If you don't need a doing, still get a big paycheck. Smart booking, brother.
That's it. All right, so guys, final thoughts on Spring Stampede 1994. Does this show matter?
Yes.
Yeet. Yes.
Definitely does. Platano, good as choice. Picking this show, you definitely brought me back. I remember this, especially when the network came out. This is one of the shows that I went back and revisited now. Everything's on YouTube. I definitely dig it. What would you guys say was the best match of the night?
Ooh. That one's tough. If it wasn't for the finish, I would have said Steve and Muta would have probably came close. But it might be the main event. I might have to give it to the main event.
Do you think the fans really went home happy with this finish?
Yeah, I think people were turning their they weren't going with the whole Ric Flair being a heel thing. They appreciated all the work he had done. He had been in the wrestling business for so long and been on top, and just I think finally the fans have realized that they're there because of him. He's the reason why everyone's been watching pro wrestling for the WCW side. And it wasn't more about the baby face coming in, it was about the heels. And Rick was so good at what he was doing that they were like, yeah, I'd rather you guys keep chasing him than him chasing you guys.
That's right. Well, definitely was a great show. I enjoyed it. I'm glad I was able to relive it again. But next
Good
week,
choice, Abel. Good choice.
Yes.
Good choice.
Yes, baby, you know how I do.
Platano made good choice. Platano made good choice.
yes,
Except for the flight back home.
yes. Well, next week is the final show of the month of April. It's my choice, and it's WCW Collision in Korea, and we're definitely going to talk about Antonio Inoki and the Nature Boy Ric Flair a year later from Spring Stampede '94. So definitely tune in, and if you want to follow up, check out the Dark Side of the Ring episode of Collision in Korea, because not what happened during the show, it's what happened after the show. All right. Well, Spring Stampede '94, it was a wild show, but it was definitely stacked. Shout outs to Platano for choosing this. BDC, thank you for doing what you do. Strap, be careful with them brown people. Make sure you tap in on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, iHeartRadio. We are on Twitch. We are all over the place right now. This is the It Doesn't Matter podcast. I'm the Notorious One. I am Dom. I'm here with BDC. I'm here at Platano, and we will see you guys next time. Oh,
It's time. It's Vader time.